Good morning and welcome to the weekly Team Achieve call. My name is Charles Leslie, Coach Chaz as I'm known in the Beachbody world. Congrats to the newer coaches on the team who have just joined in the last couple months. If you guys have not checked out these team calls or if you're watching this recording, remember there's a full file up top underneath files. And look up the document team call recordings, and there's over 30 recorded calls in there. So you can go, and I titled each one based on the topics we talked about. So if you feel you need more training in one specific area, go through there and find the training that's probably already been done. Moving forward, we have 3 people at Success Club right now. That's Kaylee leading with 4 points, Jen Carr at 2, and Jennifer Martin at 2 points as well. So congratulations to you 3 for doing what it takes. Get those points racked up. If you're going on the Cancun trip, if you do not know what that is, go to Cancun2015.com and look up the information on that. It's our yearly Success Club trip. These points have a $10 value per point that gets added to that trip. So that's an excellent way to kind of pay for your way to get there. So moving forward, I wanted to talk about something that kind of dawned on me the other day. If any of you had seen my link I posted inside Team Achieve yesterday, I actually wrote my first blog post, a legit blog post at least, that I've done in a long time. It's been a personal goal of mine to start getting my blog up and going again. I used to blog all the time on an old website, and I just stopped. So I finally had a spare half hour yesterday, and I just sat down and just started writing. And that kind of sparked something because of what happened the morning before that. So many of you know my personal story. I was full-time massage therapist at a spa that I absolutely despised going to after year 1. I was stuck there for 4 years. And even after that, I switched and transitioned. I was working both the spa and doing part-time at a clinic that I was renting space out of. So at the clinic setting, I didn't have a boss to refer to. I was renting space, but I still had to treat it like a job. I still had to run a schedule and be there at certain times, etc. So between these two and building the Beachbody business, I was able to quit that spa July last year, almost a year ago. And recently, we took a trip down to Cayman Islands and this amazing cruise that we won through Beachbody, that yearly Success Club trip. Now, before that, I put in my notice to leave that clinic. So when I came off of that trip for the first time in my life, I literally had no massage job. For 6.5 years, I did massage therapy pretty much full time. And so when we came back from this vacation, week 1, this is all stuff I wrote about in that blog post. Week 1 was amazing. I got to sit at home every single day and know that I did not have a boss to go to. I did not have anybody telling me what time I needed to be anywhere. I literally controlled my own schedule, and that first week was great. I thought, this is awesome. Now, just like with fitness and nutrition, you guys probably can relate with me with workouts and your eating. You can be 110% on track, and then it's almost unnoticeable at the time that when you start to fall off track, right? You start to eat 1 or 2 more bad foods than you usually would. You start to miss 1 or 2 workouts per week. And next thing you know, it's been 4, maybe 6 weeks, and you've been struggling. You've been slacking. Same thing goes for this business. I found myself getting in a rut. And it was a different rut than I've ever been in, because in the past it was always I fall completely off track or I'm completely on track. So this time, coming off of that trip, I found myself spending more time in front of my Xbox, more time in front of the TV watching movies or shows, and not as much time on the computer or on the phone or on video connecting with my clients and my coaches and that kind of stuff. So I found myself severely struggling with motivation more than anything. My workouts were getting pretty sporadic. My nutrition was about 50-60% on track. Wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. And business started to not necessarily decline. This is the beautiful part about residual income, is it will never fully drop, You'll see a little small decrease every now and then, but it never fully drops, which is amazing. But I definitely found myself struggling with motivation, and I could not snap myself out of it. I would literally be sitting on the couch, catching myself watching 3 or 4 episodes of a show and thinking, oh, why am I not doing what I would usually be doing, which is working on my business? Because all of 2013 from January 1st was when I put my foot down and I said, you know what, I'm going to make this Beachbody thing work. And so January was the first time that I actually put my foot down. I started making it happen. I spent all of 2013. My main goal was Success Club. I hit Success Club 5 all 12 months of 2013. And I had a great income build off of it. And I had this freedom that I finally wanted. I was able to quit that spa job. But looking back, and this is what my wake-up call was a few mornings ago. I was outside doing my usual walk that I do, which is a couple miles every morning. I was out there doing my walk, and I was listening to Eric Thomas in my headphones, which is one of my favorite motivational speakers. And he has this story that he tells about the lion and the gazelle. So I listened to this, and it automatically dawned on me why I was struggling with staying motivated towards working on my goals. My 2014 board here, I was questioning, why have I only been able to mark a few of those off and not more than that halfway through the year? And it finally dawned on me. So I'm going to dive into what the lion versus the gazelle is, because maybe you have not seen or heard this before. If you have, it's always good to get a refresher. Look up Eric Thomas, Lion and Gazelle after you guys are done watching this, and you can get the full impact of it. So lion and gazelle, what's the difference? Both wake up in the morning, right? They're out in the wilderness. They both wake up. They have 2 different missions. The lion is to chase something or run to something. And the gazelle obviously is running away from something. Now we'll start with the gazelle. The gazelle wakes up and knows that it has to outrun that lion to survive. That's their instinct. That is embedded in their brain. They wake up every morning and know that they have to outrun the fastest lion to survive that day. They are always running away from something. That can be a great motivation because it can work for a certain amount of time. But guess what? You don't even have to guess. Everyone should know. What does the gazelle do the moment that it knows it escaped that lion? It stops. It rests. It gets comfortable until that next oh crap moment happens, and then it has to run again. You guys can see how this relates to your personal life or your business. It's easy to be motivated when you are in desperate situations. Maybe your car just broke down. You know, Trista's car broke down back in December. That was an oh crap moment. That was a I need to start running and make some extra money moment. And I made that happen. But when the car got fixed, guess what? That oh crap moment wasn't there anymore. So I stopped. I got comfortable again. That was just one instance. So you guys can see how that gazelle mentality directly correlates into what you're doing with your business, your personal life. Now, the lion, on the other hand, the lion is chasing towards something, which you guys can think of it in terms of goals or whatever you want. But that lion is always hungry. It is always on the prowl. And the biggest difference between these two is the gazelle is thinking about itself when it's running away from something, right? It's motivated by saving its own ass. The lion, on the other hand, what does a lion do when it gets that kill? It does not sit and eat by itself. It takes that body to its family. The lion is motivated by everyone else's success. That lion wants to see the whole tribe succeed. It's not selfish. That's the biggest difference between those two. So when I re-listened to this audio, and I instantly, it dawned on me, which it's such an obvious thing. When I say it in a minute, it's so obvious, but at the time I didn't really realize it, how obvious it was, what was motivating me. So what dawned on me, and what I realized was keeping me so unmotivated now is the fact that my primary motivation in all of 2013 and why I was working so hard every single day, staying up late and making those sacrifices, was the fact that I was trying to escape from something, which was my job. I was so sick and tired of working for the man and having somebody else and managers run my life when I was there. I was so sick and tired of it that I was being a gazelle. I was running away from something. I was trying to escape that lion, which was my jobs. I finally was able to escape those as of March this year, just a few months ago when we got back from that trip and I was able to be 100% my own boss. I no longer had to run from that lion anymore. So that's why I found myself sitting on the couch more and just being unmotivated to really do anything. My fitness, my nutrition, everything was being affected by it, more so my mentality than anything. I stopped doing my personal development on a daily basis and it weighed down on my mind more than anything. And that's why when I re-listened to this audio, it had been a while, so I re-listened to this thing and it just dawned on me. I never set myself up to have that next goal, that next big goal. After trying to get out of those jobs and the spa and the clinic for so long, I finally did it. It was a great accomplishment, but that drive was not there anymore because I did not set myself up to transform into that lion, to have that next goal, to always chase something. So a couple key points here is, and this is something Eric talks about in that video, a gazelle has to outrun the lion every single day to survive, right? If you, with your current efforts, were that gazelle, would you survive? Think about the last month, maybe 2 months, because you cannot base that question off of one good day. We all have days where we are on our A game. We are super motivated. We are out there talking to people. We have no problem. But there's other days where it's the exact opposite and you do find yourself laying around the house, not doing anything, driving yourself deeper into that self-pity party. I've done it. We all do it. We're human. So you have to look at the combined efforts of the last month or two. With those efforts that you've been truly putting out with your business and your personal life and your growth in this journey, if you were a gazelle, would you have outran those lions? That's something that definitely makes you think about your efforts, right? Because I know if I look at myself, the last week has been fantastic. I have been 110% in it. I know I have outran the lion every single day. But a month or two ago, after that whole cruise, I would have been dead. I would have been extinct by now. So you have to ask yourself that question. Think about your current efforts. And if you were that gazelle, would you be outrunning that lion? Even better, why not transform your mindset to become that lion, to always be hungry for chasing that next big goal? Number 2, this one directly correlates with our type of industry. We are all CEOs. Some people understand it, some people don't. But when you sign up as a Beachbody coach, you are not getting interviewed and being hired on as an employee. No one is here to tell you what to do. This whole business is directly correlated to your efforts because you are your own boss with this thing. Now, the gazelle, think about the lion and the gazelle for a minute. The lion, think of the lion as your upline. Myself as the diamond coach, maybe the upline above us, Blake and Angie and that whole team. The lion acts as the upline, the external motivator. The gazelle is you. The gazelle only runs towards that goal when the lion is chasing it. Are you the type of mentality that you have to have some type of external motivation to get you to do something? What if I stop hosting these weekly team calls? If I'm doing a one-on-one call with you outside of this, what if I stop calling you every week? What if you were left completely alone? Would you still push towards your goals? or would you stop and wait for somebody to tell you what to do? The people who do not do it themselves, who do not have that driving force within them to do it no matter who's supporting them, those are the ones that make it. The ones who have the drive, no matter who is around, to do it are the ones that make it in this business. That's what I did all of 2013. I was more of a Gazelle mentality, and I never fully understood it until now. And now that I do understand it, I can't tell you guys the fire that's been lit under my ass the last couple of days. I have been up at 6 a.m., which is really difficult for me to do. I know some people, I don't know how you guys do it. You're up at like 3:30, 4:30 in the morning. I have always not been a morning person. I have struggled so much with it, but there has been something within me these last couple of days because now my whole goal is transforming into that lion mentality. I've been up at 6 a.m. and I have not even thought twice about it. When that alarm goes off, I'm up. I have goals to reach. I'm going to hit them. That's not going to happen if I stay stuck in a Gazelle mentality. I cannot wait for that next oh crap moment for a desperate push towards that next goal, right? Cars break down, family issues pop up. Yeah, maybe somebody steals your whole bank account. Something is going to happen that's going to be an oh crap moment. Don't wait for that oh crap moment to happen until you do something, because if you do something now, when that moment happens, you have the finances to fix it. If your car breaks down and you have a $1,000 emergency fund, guess what? You can fix your car. No stress. It's the best feeling in the world when that happens. The worst feeling in the world is when your car breaks down and you realize, oh crap, I have no money in my savings account right now. Don't let that happen. So that's the lion versus the gazelle story. And that's just based on, like I said, my personal experience. A lot of these calls I do are just based on what I'm going through. And I just, I'm an open book. I like to share with you guys my struggles and my success, because I want to show you guys it's not an easy road. But if you stick with it and keep pushing forward and do not quit on yourself, it might take you 10 years to make this thing work. Are you willing to put those 10 years in? It might take you a year. It might take you 6 months. We're all different people. It takes us different amounts of time. I've been doing this thing for over 5 years, and I'm still scraping the surface of my own potential. I'm going to put in another 5 years, another 10 years, if that's what it takes to make this thing work, because I am committed. I am not going to jump ship into another company. I don't care how great their compensation plan is. I believe in Beachbody. I believe in their products. I believe in their mission. And their mission, their values, and their morals directly align with mine. That's why I still stick with this thing. So if you're asking yourself, oh, is this really right for me? Just ask yourself if this company and these products and their mission aligns with yours. Because if it does, just stick with it, guys. Do what it takes to never quit on yourself. You're going to fall down. You're going to fail. I'm a walking example and living proof of it. I still fall. I still stumble. I still land on my back more than anything, because one of my favorite quotes, if you fall, you might as well fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. That's been one of my favorite sayings. Les Brown. Which one have you been for the last year of your life, the lion or the gazelle? I know most of us, it's gazelle. It's incredibly difficult to have that true lion mentality. And sometimes you don't realize you are a gazelle. Like I said, for me, looking back, it was so obvious. My main motivator in life was pretty selfish. I just wanted to fire my boss. I wanted to not be told what to do. And I made that happen. But like I said, I made that mistake of not setting up that next level. And so when I came home from that trip and found myself slacking for 4 to 6 weeks, and I couldn't figure out why, it's just because there was nothing chasing me. I didn't have a reason to keep going as hard as I was. Transform into the lion mentality. That is my current goal. And I know there's other people, whether you're on the live call or watching the recording, there's certain people that might connect with me on this. Some people won't. That's perfectly okay. We're all in different areas of our life. I'm working towards becoming that lion, to be the person who makes shit happen. Next up, I wanted to cover building your brand, because this is an extremely important one that a lot of people struggle with. The number one thing, what does it mean to build your brand? Building your brand simply means setting yourself apart from the average coach. We are all Beachbody coaches, right? But you have to find something that sets you apart. For myself, I'm getting better at building my Team CCF brand, which is Coach Chaz Fitness. I got my logo done. A logo is a fantastic way to help set yourself apart a little bit, to kind of make it look professional. Go on to elance.com or even fiverr.com. You can just post what you want as far as a logo and get it done super cheap by tons of different people on those sites. That's how I got mine done. It was like $35, and I got all kinds of colors and whatnot. So building your brand, it can be coming up with your own brand name, your own team name, getting a logo done. Those are some external ways to do it. But for the most part, your brand is people getting attracted to you for a certain reason. So I wrote down a couple key points here. Number one is be real and be you when it comes to how you present yourself. I know too many people that the way they post on Facebook is not how they are in person. And that is a crucial one, because I've met a couple people, more than a couple, I've met several people that I've been following them on Facebook, and we've been Facebook friends and chatting every now and then, but I have a certain way that I think they're going to act in person based on how I've seen them post for so long. And when I finally meet them in person, they're completely different. And the most common one is people who are naturally quiet and shy are going to post a lot on Facebook, because it's easier to be a keyboard warrior. It's easier to text. It's easier to be yourself when there's no face-to-face interaction, no emotion with it, right? So when you're posting, make sure you're not just copying and pasting and sharing what other people are posting. You have to add your own twist to things. Every time that I see people share, let's say like Tommy Migrant or Carl Deichler or Tony Horn, anyone posts something that's great and you want to share it, hit the share button, right? But add your own commentary to it. Let people know what you are thinking about that post, because that post is going to read differently for each person. This is one step towards branding yourself. Always give people your input. And like I said, be real and just be honest with people. Don't try to come off as somebody that you are not. You have to make sure you're not just being a copycat. You know, there's also a lot of people out there that they copy and paste everything, even though it may not be your personality. And so when somebody meets you in person, are they going to experience the same personality that they've been experiencing on your Facebook? Number two, this is another big one. This one took me a while to understand. You are more than just Beachbody. Think about when you add somebody to Facebook, or somebody adds you to Facebook, right? You hit confirm. There's a couple things that you typically do, right? You check their profile picture, you click on their profile, and you start to read through some of their posts to get an idea of who they are and what they're about, right? When somebody does that to your profile, are they just seeing Beachbody links? Because if they are, I can guarantee the first thing they're going to think is, oh, this guy's a salesman. I don't want to deal with that. So like I've talked about several times in prior calls, make a list of 3 to 5, whether it be hobbies or activities or something. Make a list of 3 to 5 other things that you are besides Beachbody. For myself, I'm a massage therapist. I'm a family man. I love to be outdoors and have hobbies and activities. And I love to travel. I love life. Life is one of my big ones, just experiencing life. And I'm all about motivation and mentality towards living a great life. So I post about all those things. So when somebody goes to my Facebook, they're going to see a motivational post, they're going to see a Beachbody post, they're going to see a post about my wife Trista, my family. They're going to see all this kind of stuff, and they're going to see who I am, what I'm about. So make sure you understand you are more than just a Beachbody coach. So you have to start setting yourself apart by posting more than just Beachbody. Number 3, there's 180, I think there's like 185,000 coaches in Team Beachbody. That is a lot of people. All 180,000 of us have the same products. We are with the same company. What sets you apart from those other people? Why would somebody look at you and say, I want that person as my coach? You have to have reasons why people want you to help them, as opposed to the other 180,000 coaches out there. There's so many coaches that are getting into this business, and it's going to continue to grow, which is why you have to work now to build your brand, to build that attraction. Because when Carl Deichler's vision is 1 million coaches, we only have 180,000. That's not even a quarter of the number he wants. When we have 1 million coaches and you wait until that point to start building yourself, it's probably going to be too late. We are in this thing early. I hear a lot of people, potential coaches, they're saying, well, there's already a lot of coaches. Aren't you guys ever going to run out? You know, if all 3+ billion, or I don't even know how many billion people we have in the world, if everyone wants to sign up, yeah, we'll run out of people someday. But I truly believe we are still in this thing so early. If you think about the big number of 1 million coaches, we are less than a quarter into that. Build your brand now. Attract people now. Go back and watch my team call I did about attracting people, because I pretty much gave out my best advice on attracting people in that one. But if you start attracting people now, people are going to know who to go to. Think of it this way. I know for me, I want to be known as the go-to guy around town and on my Facebook. When somebody has questions about fitness, nutrition, life, health, I want them to think, oh, Charles is good. I'll ask him. That's how I envision myself. So if you work towards becoming that go-to person, you have people sending you questions all the time about small stuff. And that helps you build the trust, because they know who to come to. You're there giving out your free advice. And when they're finally ready to make the commitment and they see a challenge group post, they'll say, oh, hey, he's been helping me for a while. Maybe I'll do that. I've had so many people do that, guys. And it's because I built that trust and that relationship first. Next one is going to be create content that attracts. I did a post in Team Achieve last week about the number one thing that you can do on a daily basis to build a successful business. It's not going to happen quick. It's going to take time to build up. But the number one thing you can do is create one piece of content per day that adds value to people's lives. Create one piece of content that when somebody reads it or watches it, they're going to get something out of it, whether it be inspiration, information, or they get motivated. They're going to take something out of it. Blogging and videos. Those are seriously going to be your best bang for your buck type contents that you can put out there, because a blog post and a video gets put into search engines like Yahoo, Bing, and Google, and it stays there for years. You can do the most motivational Facebook post that you have ever done in your life, and it can get 1,000 likes, but guess what? After 2 days, poof, it's gone. Anyone looking at their Facebook has to go to your page and search for it. It's going to be so far down that news feed that people are not going to see it again. But if you took that same information, turned it into a blog post or a video, and again, being real and being yourself and being down to earth with people, if you put that in a video or a blog post, that's going to keep circulating for a long time. It's going to be easy for people to find too. If somebody reads a blog post and they say, oh, wow, that was amazing, I need to show my friend this, they're going to know exactly what website to go to and where to click, especially if you're categorizing your blog post. So creating one piece of content per day is going to be one of the absolute best things that you can do for your business. And like I said, a piece of content is not Instagram and it is not Facebook. It has to be something tangible, like a blog post or a video. Those are your top two. You can write an article, you can do all sorts of things, do some research on different ways to do that. But for myself and how I've seen success with this is videos. I'm now getting back into blogging. I did a long blog post yesterday. Like I said, I posted in the team group. I feel that blog post, I just talked about the whole Gazelle versus Lion thing and my experience with it. I feel that can help people because I was real. I showed my weakness. I showed vulnerability. I admitted to the fact that I was being a gazelle this whole time, and I really didn't see it until recently. It's so clear to me now looking back, like, holy crap, man, really? You didn't see that? But that just shows you that, we get caught up in our own heads so often. So sometimes you need to take a step out of your own head and look at your life and see where you need to make those improvements. And I can tell you firsthand, if you've been thinking about doing a video or a blog for a while, just shut up and do it. Stop making excuses to yourself. Just shut up and do it. I have been telling myself to start my blog for probably a year, not even kidding. And it took me, I've been dabbling in with it as far as making it look nice and adding all my tabs and all that stuff. No, that doesn't count. Get a basic layout that takes 5 minutes to do with WordPress or blogger.com or whatever you want to use. It doesn't matter how nice your blog looks, guys. It's the content that's within it. Stop putting it off. Stop procrastinating. I procrastinated for the last year on this thing, and it took me less than a half hour yesterday. I literally sat down, opened up my computer, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to write a blog post. Just going to be a quick one. I started writing, and I thought it would be like a paragraph, just a life update, and it turned into me just being vulnerable for 4 or 5 paragraphs. It was super quick, way easier than I thought it would be. Just like anything in life, right? Whatever scares us, it's always just the thought that scares us more than the actual action. Once you usually do it, you go, oh, wow, it wasn't too bad. So if you've been putting off blogging, if you've been putting off that video that you want to do, just suck it up and do the work, guys. Do something today that's going to benefit you tomorrow and in the future. Anyways, I am done blabbing on for today. Do you guys have any questions? Give me a thumbs up if you're all good to go. Awesome. Well, I appreciate each of you being on this call on the live version. If you are watching the recording, I also appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this. If you have any further questions, be sure to reach out to me on Facebook, or text is actually easiest. I know a lot of people shoot me messages and it's hard for me to get back. So text me on this thing. You guys all have my number. It's in the team group on the right side underneath the description. All my information is in there, including my business hours, which I will text back within. Aside from that, I'm going to go have a blessed day, and I want you guys to do the same. This has been Coach Chaz. Peace out, crew.